Teachable Moments with April podcast is back, and I am your host, April. And I would like to invite you to join me July 17th, 2023, Monday, starting at 4 p.m., for a new series entitled Gems of Wisdom from Black Leaders of New Thought by Unity Ministry Publications. I hope to see you there. This is Teachable Moments with April podcast. I am your host, April. If you're a returning listener, I appreciate you and welcome back. If you're a new listener, welcome and thank you. To everyone listening, remember, teachable moments are all around us. Enjoy. Rise above fear and worry. 30 Days to Fearless Living by Unity Ministries. Some of the questions most frequently asked these days are, how can I see what's happening in the world through spiritual eyes? How can I keep from fear and despair? Fear is nothing but a thought, yet it can dominate people's lives. Let's consider the definition from the Revealing Word, a dictionary about the inner meaning of terms used in spiritual study. Fear. Painful emotion marked by alarm, dread, disquiet. Webster Dictionary. Fear is a paralyzer of mental action. It weakens both body and mind. Fear throws dust in our eyes and hides the mighty spiritual forces that are always with us. Blessed are those who deny ignorance and fear and affirm the presence and power of spirit. Fear and how to overcome. Fear is cast out by perfect love. To know divine love is to be selfless, and to be selfless is to be without fear. The God-conscious person is filled with quietness and much confidence. You might ask how one becomes more God-conscious. Fortunately, the question has been addressed throughout the years by a variety of New Thought writers and thinkers. This content is a collection of spiritual practices for living without fear and quietness and confidence, no matter what is happening around you. This episode is courtesy of Rise Above Fear and Worry, 30 Days to Fearless Living by Unity Ministries. Day 3, Faith Over Fear by Reverend Galen McDowell. Life is a mystery. Life is forever changing, and no matter how hard people want some things to stay the same, change happens. For some people, the unpredictability of life is very problematic. The human ego, functioning out of fear of the unknown, tries to control situations, people, politics, religion, and anything it can dominate to maintain control and feel safe. Some people are looking for assurance in the midst of constant evolution. The challenge is, no matter how hard we try to preserve a way of life, it will change. Human consciousness fears what it cannot control. Anything different from the norm is scary to the preservation of the alleged status quo. Fear then begins to dictate what we do. Therefore, we cannot allow the lower levels of human thinking based on fear, uncertainty, and ignorance to dictate our decisions. We must transcend the limited view of human ego and connect with a higher level of awareness, seeing beyond the facts and limited perceptions to the goodness of God. Now, Charles Fillmore wrote that faith is the perceiving power of the mind linked with the power to shape substance. Faith is our ability to see the possibilities of life. Faith sees ideals where fear sees disbelief. Faith sees opportunities where fear sees obstacles. Faith sees potential where fear sees problems. Faith sees abundance where fear sees lack and limitation. Now, faith allows us to work with God's omnipresent and omnipotent substance, which is an infinite possibility, and shape it into a manifestation of good that we can understand and use in our lives. If we want to master life, we must exercise our faith. We must say yes to our good by seeing it spiritually, holding it in our mind, believing in it, and bringing it into manifestation. Faith allows us to become independent thinkers. When we keep our faith in God in us, our thinking will not be determined by limited paradigms, but by the context of love, wholeness, and prosperity. Now, Jesus taught that faith works with the spoken word. In the Gospel of Mark 11, verses 22 through 24, Jesus teaches us how to utilize the power of faith. He taught us to speak the word of faith to the mountains in our lives. First, we must put our minds on the spirit that transcends the appearance by seeing God's goodness with our faith. Then we must speak to our seeming problems and tell them to be dismissed into nothingness. Trust God and live in your power. Teachable Moments with April podcast is back, and I'm your host, April. I'm excited to share some new content for you, courtesy of our friends at Unity Ministry Publications. Here is just a preview of some of the content we'll be exploring together. Finding peace through prayer. Change your thinking, change your life. Healing thoughts. Spiritual keys to aging well. The spiritual journey from addiction to recovery. Return to wholeness, living healed, whole, and healthy. Rise above fear and worry, 30 days to fearless living. Finding peace through prayer, and so much more. I hope you will join me on this new chapter of Teachable Moments with April podcast. You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I invite you to connect with us on our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. I also encourage you to become a paid subscriber in order to gain access to subscriber-only exclusive episodes and content. As always, be well and stay blessed. Until next time.